are you one of them weirdos that can enjoy yourself sober? And I went, yeah, I guess I am, yeah. Because they would like, have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. But what they don't know is I've just been diagnosed with this pretty serious disease. I'm that curious still, to a point where I will just go to an event, and if I don't enjoy it, I'll just won't do it again. But how will I ever know that I didn't? How will I ever know that I don't enjoy a gong bath?
Yeah.
If I never go. Like, if we can inspire someone to do better, be better, make better choices, like, that's just success. That's what's made me realise that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know, whether that's part-time, whether it's full-time, whatever it is, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, I want to help as many people, I want to inspire as many people as I possibly can by spreading this message for the rest of my life.
So on this week, we welcome you back on another episode, Disciples of Truth. And this week we have Micheal Harvey on, the Chavvy Hippie.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. What's happening?
Yeah, very well. So I just wanted to go into, where did it all start with the Chavvy Hippie?
So with the Chavvy Hippie, it started more of it was more on a like professional front, really. I was living a life where I was very stressed, very fast-paced. A lot of the times couldn't see much clarity. Just taking short breaks every now and again.
Yeah.
Which I thought were helping. For example, every 3 weeks I'd just go to London, switch my phone off. I'd have 3 days in London, and I thought that was helpful. But really, what I was doing, I was masking the problem rather than facing it. So, you know, prevention is better than the cure.
Yeah.
So I started seeing a lot of these CEOs and, you know, big board members and stuff like that. They were doing meditations and breath works, and I was like, that's a funny one. I've never really thought about doing that. So I tried it. I've done a thing with a guy called Paul Mort, and it was like Paul Mort 28 Days Unstoppable or something along them lines. I can't really remember what it was. But Paul Mort he's all about men.
Yeah.
He's all about the psychology of men and things like that. So I done his 28-day challenge, but then he also gives you a meditation for men. And that was the first time that I'd ever done it. And I went into it and my mind was saying, oh, what you doing? Fucking behave. Da, da, da. You know, as it does, it spirals out of control. And you, especially in the early days, when you're just starting out.
It wants you to go and do anything. Yeah, Joe Dispenza, like saying it is like, you've got to tell it to sit like a dog.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. And it's just...
That's what I mean. You have to try and, you have to do your best to control it. And then after the first one, so you set your alarm, I think it's either 12 or 15 minutes, and you set your alarm at that. And I went into it and my mind was telling me, oh, just behave, you won't switch off. The next thing, my alarm woke me up and I was like, fuck, where have I just been there? And just having that time of rest, that time of nothingness, not even clarity, just clear. Do you know what I mean? It didn't make me see anything of clarity.
Yeah.
It didn't say, this is what you need to do. It didn't show me anything like that. It just gave me a clear brain, just for that small amount of time. And I was like, wow, that was nice. It was really nice. And that's when it kind of spiraled from there, really. And I just started doing more on that front. And then, started going to different events around the country and really, really delved a lot deeper into meditation, breathwork, holistic practices, all these different aspects of self-progression.
Yeah.
Just learning more and more about what there is out there to to help. And you know, it is something that I've said to a lot of people. That I've got a friend, and he's one of my site managers, and he says to me, "Oh, what would you advise I go to?" And I just say, "Fucking everything. Just go to everything," because that's what I done. Like, even now, I'm that curious still, to a point where I will just go to an event, and if I don't enjoy it, I'll just won't do it again.
Yeah.
But how will I ever know that I didn't? How will I ever know that I don't enjoy a gong bath?
Yeah.
If I never go. So, you know, that's where it kind of spiraled from, and I was like intrigued into self-progression on a different path then.
It's funny that you said that because I pulled a card the other day, and it's not often I pull them, and it was the curiosity, and then it said curiosity killed the cat. And it's like that phrase goes for everyone, and it scares you into trying new things. And it's like gong bath, whatever. The first time I heard one, I ended up going, and it were mainly women, the events that I was going to.
Yeah.
And you're a bit out of place, and you're like,
Yeah.
But it was brilliant.
Yeah.
It wasn't best.
The class, the brilliant. A lot of these things are, if you embrace them, the fantastic places to be. And over the last 3 years, all the events that I've been to 100 events around the country, in small crystal shops and, you know, little event spaces, and you're normally talking like 10 to 15 people. I'd probably say, away from my events, I would say that I've seen 10 other blokes. I'm probably overhyping it there.
Yeah,
I've probably seen 5 other blokes at these little events, and it's very unusual to see another bloke. So it is very normal to be the only bloke there.
Yeah.
I'm quite fortunate with my events that we get a lot of males.
Yeah.
I think as well, because I am a male practitioner, that is quite a pulling power. So I'd probably say about 40% of my crowds are males, which is fantastic. Well, I mean, the one that we do in Middlesbrough, it's got like 18 people, so 40% of that is males. Like, it's just fantastic.
I think your energy will pull it out of that as well. What it changes that perspective of the thinking it's just for women.
Yeah. We had a lad join us at the last one. I'd done an event on the Saturday. I met him at that event. I don't know, I just felt like he needed to be there. And I said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And he was like, "Nothing." And I went, "Right, you're coming to the self-love session." And he was like, "How much are the tickets?" I went, "Nothing." I just felt like he needed to be there. And he came, and he was like, "Oh, there's a lot of hugs going on, isn't there? It's nice, isn't it?" Like, and as males, we don't.
Yeah.
Listen, I hug everyone. You know, I'm in for the hug before the handshake. I prefer that.
Yeah.
But in general, we don't do enough of it.
It's our culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our culture's like, "No, get away, you go bastard." That's what people are like. And it's like, "Don't touch me, you puff." And it's like, it's not that at all.
No. It's a good connection.
Yeah, well, my friend who's just been to recovery, he's Dan was saying it's like you should even hug on the left side. It's like heart. I know, I never even think about it. These are things that you just don't think of.
No, and it's strange because we automatically go into the other side.
Yeah.
So we've got a friend called Masha, and he will not hug unless it's heart to heart. He'll stop you and he's like, "Heart to heart, brother."
Yeah.
Like every time. Because it's mad, we never ever go that way. But it's like we're
disconnected,
programmed to go the other way. Yeah.
It's like, this is like the things that I think they should be taught at school, just simply.
Yeah. I mean,
to
be honest, I think Leeds is pretty good. There's a lot of like homeschooling, there's a lot of forest schools, there's a lot of, I think Leeds as a city is quite open. It's quite open to new ideas. I know that my godson, he goes to like 3 forest schools a week.
Does he?
Yeah, which is mega, isn't it? Like, and there's a lot of that goes on in Leeds. I've realised.
See, at school when my son had started nursery, Because when I got into meditation, he went, "What's Daddy doing?" He went, "He's meditating." He went, "I meditate at school." I'm like, "No, you don't." And he's like, "Yeah, he does." But then it's got taken out once they've gone into actual school. But I like it was good that they were putting it in at the start.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they should definitely carry that on though, right?
Yeah. Well, it's be able to be in control of your mind. To notice your thoughts and your emotions coming up is something that needs to be regulated, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, regulating your emotions is, for me, one of the most important things that you can do with your body. Because once you can regulate your emotions, nothing can stop you. Nothing can ruin your day. You know, someone cutting you up on the road doesn't matter.
No.
You know, someone at work shouting and bawling. You know, you take it in your stride. Once you can regulate them emotions, and if you can teach that from a young age,
Yeah.
fuck, like, what a
Well, it's just not
superpower.
being reacted to stuff, is it?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people are, just straight reactive. And what do you think's like the biggest problem, the biggest stigma with males not going to these groups? What do you think that
I
is?
think that the scared of the scared of what might come up, the scared of what's the scared of being exposed.
Yeah.
I think a lot of males are worried about their ego.
Yeah.
So being in that room and potentially crying, or, you know, exposing themselves and exposing their emotions to other people. Because the thing is with men, it's very hard for them to open up because they can be taken advantage of. It's very, very common for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I've had it myself in previous relationships where the girl wants you to open up, you open up, and then 3 months later it's used against you.
Yeah.
And that happens so regular. You know, I'm not saying that all girls are the same, and,
No.
and you know, there's a lot of amazing girls out there, but
Yeah.
it is very common for that to be seen, that males open up on an emotional level, and for a male to do that is it's hard, mate. It is, because we're not that feminine creature, you know. We're in general, the popularity, the population, you know, we have this masculine kind of front that we struggle to break down. So I think being exposed and taken advantage of for being open is a worry for a lot of men, and it's scary for them to be exposed by someone.
Yeah.
So I think that is a big stumbling block for a lot of men. We've I don't know about yourself, but like I say, me for example, I've had it in the past where I actually watched something the other day, and it was a woman talking about how women want men to open up, but women interrupt.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's always the case, but this girl was basically saying, her exact words were, "If we shut the fuck up, we'll learn more about men." And I was like,
Yeah, I think I've seen the same clip.
yeah. And it's like, she's just basically saying, men take time to open up.
Yeah.
They take a lot more steps to get to open up with their emotions. Where girls, they're very open because they have this feminine,
Yeah.
like they're very feminine, obviously, as they should be.
Yeah.
And what she was saying is, if you just let men decipher and let them take their own steps to be in there and support them, their emotions and, you know, their true emotions will eventually open up. But most women will interrupt before they get that chance to. They're not my words, but that's what you were saying.
I get you. You know what, as well, when I went to your event and you went round the room and you were asking people what the first thing, what they're grateful for. And I think because there were mainly women there, I thought some of them might be not having a fella, and I didn't want to rub it in the face. But the first thing I'd wanted to say was, and it leads it back to what you're saying there, is for me and my missus to be understood by someone, like to be on that level where she understands me. And I think that is when you can fully like engage in being open and vulnerable because you feel understood. And I think that's all that anyone really wants is to be understood. It's like, but when we get to that point of the trust being broken, it's very hard to get that back.
Yeah, definitely. I think it works on many different levels. I mean, you know, I'm at the moment I'm in a new relationship. We're like a couple of months in, and you know we're very much similar paths, and you know we're quite fortunate that we're understanding of each other's time, and it's nice to have that openness, and you know some things that I've said, like we never ever go to. I mean, obviously this is for future reference, but we never go to sleep angry. You know, let's sort it out before. There's no frustrations. We need to be open. We need to be honest. We need to be, you know, considerate of each other's time. One thing that in the past that I have noticed, and I've seen it so much with other relationships, is that the reactiveness, and it gets to a point where people don't want to speak to each other because what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
I actually went for a meal last week, and there was a guy. So I was there with my missus and my niece, and there was a guy sat behind us, a bit sat behind them, and I know him, and he was like ripping the piss out of his missus, and like she was like trying to say stuff, and he was like making jokes about her appearance, and I was just like
tearing her down.
Yeah, just tearing her down in front of the kids, and like he was really getting to me. Like it takes a lot for someone to get to me, but I was like, oh, like I just wanted to go and say something. I wanted to go and say to her, you don't have to stand for that, and just say to him, you're a fucking arsehole, you.
Yeah.
And I see situations like that, and I'm like, no wonder like relationships break down when you can't even have a conversation with your partner without them jumping down your throat, and just the way that he was
manipulative as well, though, because it then kills their self-confidence to leave because they think they're not worth. It's this self-belief you're taught over and over. It's like a mantra, and then I've seen it in relationships with other people, and it's I don't know how you sleep with yourself at night to try and make someone feel that fucking worthless.
I mean, essentially, you're just a fucking scumbag, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know.
Because it is like, where do you go over and say something or not? Is it like, it's an hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's not going to change anything, is it?
No.
Me going over and going, mate, listen, the way that you're speaking to her is awful. You're a fucking wanker.
Yeah.
Like, and love, you don't have to take it. Really, what that's going to do, it's going to make him more angry, and he's probably going to react in a different way. So really, you know, without them recognising it themselves, someone going over isn't going to really change anything, is it?
You never know. You know, it's a really, I wouldn't like to say, give advice to say yes, do it or not. It's an hard one, though, isn't it? It's like, does it bring this self-awareness about, and then is it, it's an hard one, isn't it? You don't never know it's going to play out.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few different scenarios. One is he might recognise his his shortcomings. Two, he might end
punch.
Up. You are
try to throw a punch.
Yeah, at me. Potentially at her later. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different scenarios that play out. It just depends how strongly you feel in that moment, though, isn't it?
The only one thing I could say that you could do is pray for her.
Yeah.
that's maybe the one thing.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So how did How did you get into doing the actual events then yourself? How did you fall into it? Did you know that it was going to be your thing?
So, I was going to other events and I was like, these are amazing. And then I seen the way that, so when I was going to Awakened Souls events, I just seen the way that how he was helping people. And throughout my life, that's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to help others. So I seen the way that he was helping people, and I was just like, I want to do that. Yeah. And I've got a friend called Jess, and she wanted to start doing stuff. Like her personally, she wanted to do things on the beach.
Yeah. So
then I said, right, well, I'll do the sunset meditations and I'll do the breath work, and then it kind of just spurred from there. We started off with like a little group, and we built and yeah, it was just something that I was really, as soon as I'd done it, I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Have you always been like naturally confident as well?
Yeah, yeah, I have. Yeah. I was, apart from with women,
right,
when I was younger.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I remember I had a girlfriend in school, and we were boyfriend and girlfriend for about 2 weeks. I think I spoke 3 words.
Yeah, just avoiding.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it was embarrassing, to be honest. But that's how it was. I wasn't shy with girls, but like, if it come to anything intimate or anything like that, yeah, I was no. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I was always quite confident, like, you know, if it was, I remember we threw this big like sports day type thing, and they were like, who wants to do the organising? Who wants to be the lead? And I was like, me. You know, like that type of thing. I always remember I think I was in year 4, we had a teacher called Miss Allenson. And she used to just get me to like sing and joke around the class, and like I've always been pretty like outgoing, confident, never really been deterred by.
Yeah. You controlled the room really well when I came to the event.
Oh, do you think so? Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, thank you, mate. That is something that I've had a few people say, to be honest. Because especially in a room that size, when you've got 28 people in there.
Was that your biggest event?
That's my biggest event to date, yeah. When you've got a room that big and you've got big characters in there, like Mark, Tash, Nikki.
Yeah, he seemed like a big character. He seemed like a lovely bloke, though.
Oh, he's the best. Honestly, he's a top bloke. You know, you've got big characters in that room. And that was the first room that I'd had where it wasn't people who were just intrigued, people who were already been on their own journey for like longer than I had.
Yeah.
So when you've got that room that big and that big of characters, yeah, to be able to keep it.
Yeah.
And keep it calm. I know there was a couple of times that because I don't. Obviously, I'm not there to tell anyone off. And at the end of the day, if you want to be there, you want to be there. But what I do quite well, I think, is I don't like say shut up or anything like that. Yeah. But like if there's someone talking, I'll just say their name, and then like carry on. Because we are like, say if you're talking, why should someone else be talking?
Yeah.
You give them your time, so it's only fair that they do the same in return. Yeah. So yeah, I do like holding that room. I wouldn't say it was difficult, but it at times it started, the energy started building up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I try to grab hold of that quite well. Yeah, it was a little bit difficult at times,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it. Yeah.
No, good. I think, like, for me personally as well, the whole day were nice, and if I could, like, give anyone any advice if they are going to it, maybe give themselves, like I did for the full day, like maybe go and do an exercise. I went to the shred fasting morning.
Yeah.
So it was a nice hour drive over in my head, like listening to a podcast, went there, did that. Then came over and met you, went and got a shower, and I went and had lunch by myself, something that
Yeah.
I'd never have done 5 years ago. And now, like, loved it.
Brilliant there.
And then came to that, and it was just lovely to hear people how they've come through shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they were grateful for, and that were lifting room, and like there were people who wouldn't have spoke. You could tell how shy they were,
Yeah.
and then they come out of the shell through shared experiences.
Yeah, it is lovely because I think people realise the support as the room's going round. I think people sort of get to a certain point and they go, oh shit, well I'll be the odd one out here if I don't speak.
Yeah.
Where beforehand they might have been like, nah, I'm not speaking. And then you get like 7 people in and you're like, oh, well actually I'll be the odd one out. Like they think that it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But they'll probably find themselves thinking, oh, well, I'll probably be a bit stupid here if I don't talk. Which is good because sometimes people just need that little bit of peer pressure maybe to open up. And then once they're open up, it's like, oh my God, that was fucking amazing.
I'm not gonna lie though, when you started at the other side of the room, and I'm like, it took me back to school. I thought, what's gonna happen is what always happens, is it's about time it gets around to me, someone's gonna say what I were gonna say.
Yeah.
You used to do it all the time, and then you go, red face, you like, you just think you're bullshitting.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's fucking 3 things.
Yeah. You caught me man
Yeah,
there.
try and journal out fucking going like that. But no, it's mad. Like even the woman who was sat outside me, because I also liked what you did. You split people up who came in,
Yeah.
so they got to speak to other people.
Yeah.
But her friend had to go, and then she didn't want to. She just didn't want to partake in it, did she? So,
Yeah, she was on her phone. She was tapping the floor. Like, I went over and told her 3 times to put her phone away.
But she kept talking to me. She was a nice enough woman, like, but she was like, I don't think I need to heal. And I'm like, yeah, like my healing journey's done. I always pull that face, like your healing journey's
It's a non-stop
never done.
journey, yeah.
There's something else. There's something that you're avoiding.
Yeah.
It gives you that like spiritual bypassing.
Yeah. I tell her a few. She's the only person that I've ever had that was that rude.
Yeah.
And it's just, for me, that there, it's just not fair on other people.
No.
Like, you sat next to her, I can hear her tapping on her phone, yeah, and I'm stood next to the speaker. And I'm like, just because you don't want to be here doesn't mean you have to be, like,
It's just rude
to other people.
Yeah.
Like, be conscious that other people, you might think that you've finished your healing journey. First of all, why are you here if that's the case?
Yeah.
Second of all, you know how hard it is then. Do you know what I mean? You know how hard it is to be able to step into the room, to give yourself to these practices, because emotions may come up. So she knows if she's been on that powerful of a journey and she's totally healed, then she knows how hard it is. So to disrupt someone else while they're doing that is so rude.
Yeah, I think for me as well, like I'm not as reactive to stuff as what I used to be. And I probably would have said something a bit ago, but even for me, I don't get that time to myself where I get a full day. So I could have been like,
shut up.
Yeah, and it's just like I thought, it's just to let you do your thing. Like it's let people reflect upon. And hopefully she might have gone away, or she might end up watching this actually.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, there's something to work on there.
Yeah, definitely, because she was unrested in that room.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's unrested in a room that's so calm.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
So where do you want to be doing all this? Where do you see it going?
So, in all honesty, I just want to keep spreading a nice message. Like, I just want to keep building. I want more cities, more towns, in whatever capacity that looks like, that we can spread this message. That's what I want. I've been looking at putting packages together. So, like, say for example, you could go on the website and you could buy like an evening time package. So within that, it'd come with like a guided meditation. It'd come with a playlist.
Yeah.
It would come with like your instructions of how your evening needs to be set out.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about things like that. I just put a poll up last night about doing online self-love sessions, which I've done one before. I've done a couple before, and they worked. They worked really well.
Yeah.
And a couple of people have actually messaged me back saying, I really want to come to the physical ones, but I just haven't been able to. So an online one would be perfect. So there's just another avenue to be able to spread this message.
Yeah.
That's where I want to go. I want more collaborations. You know, we're just working on a collaboration with a girl called Becca, who has a group called Mamsiety at the moment, which is a fantastic one. It's going to be a couples thing.
It sounds amazing, that.
Yeah, which is like, it's only for couples, you know, and hopefully we can peel back a few of them layers that we spoke about earlier. You know, you never know what relationship you're going to get in the room.
Yeah.
So if we're able to get them, because it might be the first time that they've heard each other speak positively about themselves in a long time.
I think also what you're touching on there, there's another dynamic of it, and it's something me and Zoe talked about, of even doing a podcast with me and her, because I went through an awakening. It was quite a rude awakening.
Yeah.
And didn't make it look easy at all. And then we've stuck it out. But there's couples that are not sticking it out because they don't see it's all like that. And people, that can be like an introduction to show that there's a brighter side to it.
Yeah, so I want to open up the doors to more avenues, to more collaborations if they feel right, more audiences, and being able to, like I say, if we can do things with couples, fantastic, parents. You know, I never really want to go down the kids' route. A few people have mentioned to me about going into schools and stuff like that. She's not really of interest to me. I don't feel like I know enough about children to be able to. Again, like, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist.
No.
I even say to people, I'm not here to heal you.
No.
You know, I'm here to give you the tools to be able to make better choices today and be able to sculpt a better life in the future. But everything starts with right now, and I'm only here to guide you. I'm only here to give you the tools to be able to go away and do that yourself. I'm not here to heal you in any way, shape or form.
Like when you've lost their house keys, you just give them a new set.
You what?
They've lost their house keys, you just give them a new set. It's just for them to access themselves.
Yeah,
really. It's not any other way. And they've got to be open to it, haven't they?
Yeah. So I'm just looking at other ways of spreading the message, really.
Yeah.
Just continually growing. And like I said before, helping people is what I've always wanted to do. Yeah. Now, I had my own charity for years. I sat on the boards for charities, and it was all amazing. A lot of it was helping with families with needs and people with homelessness and stuff like that. And not that you're looking for any praise or thanks or anything like that, but some of the disrespect that we used to get from people, like coming to our events, thinking that they were entitled to whatever we were doing. I give every Sunday up for 2 years to throw different events. We had like community days, we had haircuts for the homeless, We had all these different events running every week, and the disrespect that I used to get from people coming into them, not recognising that I was giving my own time up, and that all these barbers were giving their own time away from their families, or, you know, all these different things. And I found that kind of tipped me over the edge of like not wanting to do it anymore.
Here at Disciples of Truth, we're proud to partner up with Charlie's Apothecary. Charlie's got some cracking products. I mean, cracking. And to start off with, it'd be cordyceps, and it's the first product I actually tried at Charlie's. It's a dual extraction, and cordyceps is renowned for natural energy booster, helps fight diseases, and it's great for sex drive for those that care to wish, and you can wish. But no, on a serious note, I don't like going to the gym. If you've got low energy, I don't like the pre-workouts. This is great with a few drops of water. Swig it down, swirl it around your mouth, and off you go. And it can be aided throughout the day. And then the next product we've got is my personal favourite, is the fall blended salts. Salts gets a really bad rap through propaganda and doctors saying that we overuse it, when it's not true at all. To get the best salts in is one of the most natural ways of getting all the essential minerals into your body flow, so I'd give it a go. And it has Salinas del Carmen salt that originates from the Canary Islands, Fuerteventura if you really want to know. It's one of the highest grades that you can have, and then it's got another three blends to go with. And the next product we've got, it really doesn't need an introduction. It's Shilajit. You must see it everywhere. It's got 85 trace minerals, and it's good for energy, mental health and clarity. And this is sourced from the Himalayan mountains. And I've tried many different brands of Shilajit, and I'd put this at the top of the ladder, and it's really nice packaging as well. And then last but not least is the oregano. It's the triple extraction. This is good for boost immunity, gut health, lowers cholesterol, fights inflammation, it aids weight loss, and I've just personally used this. The house got, some of his family members got sick, and it kept it off, and I haven't managed to get sick through it. Same again, put in water, swirl around the mouth. Brilliant products. What you also get from these products is it's handcrafted. He puts a lot of time and effort in with his team. It's UK only at the moment until it expands more. So it's only UK only, postage and packaging. What Charlie also does is he grows his own mushrooms. So we know that they're tried, tested, and they're also for freshness. So hit the link in the bio and go check out Charlie's new website. Looks at all his range of products is on there, and there's something for everyone. So yeah, go check it out, guys.
Who in particular, like the actual people, the homeless people?
Yeah, like people coming to the events to like get clothes or get a free haircut or food.
Right.
And they were just so disrespectful to the people who were organising and helping.
Like it were a given.
Yeah, like it was a given. They were just entitled to it, you know. Now that I've found this, people love it. They appreciate it so much.
The feedback.
The feedback is just incredible. And, you know, some of the stories that are coming off the back of it, even down to like a physical journeys, like I have people messaging me saying, you know, I got really encouraged by or inspired by you talking about your physical journey. 3 weeks later, they're £10 down. Do you know, just like, even just that, it's not even just about the like meditation, it's just about self-progression in general.
Yeah.
Like, if we can inspire someone to do better, be better, make better choices, like, that's just success. So that's what's made me realise that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. You know, whether that's part-time, whether it's full-time, whatever it is, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I want to help as many people. I want to inspire as many people as I possibly can by spreading this message for the rest of my life.
Yeah. No, it sounds good. Are you like, you're testing waters with the online thing now because maybe it's something that you wouldn't cater to yourself?
What do you
I
mean?
mean, like, for me personally, like, even like this podcast now, I prefer it in person. When I've done the
Yeah.
ones, I've done it to take myself out of comfort zone, but I don't feel like there's that lag sometimes. But like what you're saying is, through his own personal experience, some people can't get to the event. Some people have got
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
or they're single or whatever, and they can't get out of the house. So it caters to them, not just looking
Yeah.
through your own. Because like for me, online things, I prefer not to. Well,
Yeah,
I
same.
say that, but then I do guided meditations.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit of a bullshit, and they're pretty powerful. So
Yeah.
I guess it's just, I don't know, it's working through it, isn't it?
Well, this is it. And I never... Basically, I don't want to give someone an opportunity not to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's not being in a forceful manner. I just mean...
No, I don't think you are at all.
I don't want anyone to have a reason to not at least do this once.
And have access, yeah.
Yeah, and have access to it at least once. You know, a lot of people come, they enjoy it, they give me loads of great feedback, and then they haven't been again. For me, this is a constant battle, and I think people have to realise that, like, the you can't do something once and everything's sound. It's like the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't go one day, and go, yeah, I'm at my optimal health.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is like the gym. Meditation is a physical form of self progression, and I want to give everyone that accessibility to come to a self love session, whether that's online, whether that's physical. I would encourage everyone to come to physical, but not everyone has that. I don't want to say time, but a lot of people are tied to their own situations. You know, kids, work life, whatever it is. People have their own lives that they are tied.
Like, it's even like when we meet up with us friends. We go out for like one meal a year with them. Like, we'd love to do it more. I'm like, but life just happens. Like, so like, I'm envious of some of the stuff that you get to go sort of to all these different events. And with you, I'd said that I need to start honouring my guests more and actually going on to their events so I know what they're talking about and we can share the experience really. But yeah, it's...
Do you know what, right? So when I first got my camper, there's a place near me called Saltburn, and there's like a cliff, and then you can drive down towards the beach. But so you reverse up on the top of this cliff, and you can basically just open the back doors, and the sea's there, and the sun normally rises there, and it drops about there. So I think it was my first ever night in the camper, or it might be my second one. And I went there, and this van's pulled up next to me. And these lads just kept getting out. And I was like, Jesus Christ, lads, what's that, like a clown car? And they were just piling out of this van. And it turned out that I knew one of them. So I'm chatting away to him. And in the background, I'm like, what's he doing there? And he just pulled all these slats out. And he's just putting them all together. Next thing, it's a coffee table. And they all pull these, there's about 6 of them. And they all pull a chair out. And they went to me, join us. So I went over, looked round the table, there wasn't a phone inside. Yeah.
Cool.
And I went, what's this all about, like, boys? And they went, 4 or 5 times a week. Well, no, they said, every night we do it, but most of us join 4 or 5 nights a week. And we put the kids to bed, and this is a non-negotiable. We come meet the lads for an hour and have a cup of tea, put our phones away, have a bit of music on, and we just chat between the lads. We only have 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, because we're conscious of time and the wife and stuff like that. But we try our very best to get together 4 times a week after we put the kids to bed. Oh. And I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Former mate the next day told him, and do you know what he said to me? I wouldn't have time for that. I was like, that's the fucking point, mate.
It's hard.
It's easy for me because I'm single.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, not single. I've got no kids.
Yeah. Rewind.
Yeah, rewind that. I've used to saying that because I haven't had a missus for 5 or 6 years. But I haven't got any like tying kids or anything like that. So like, but even like if I want to leave here now and go right, I don't know. I'm gonna go to Paris.
Yeah.
I can.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, I can. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm not overly tied like that.
Yeah.
Where obviously, especially at my age, 35, a lot of lads and lasses have kids and responsibilities like that, and so it's easy for me to say, oh, we should be doing this. A lot of people have other responsibilities or...
Yeah, it's, I was speaking to Zoe over there, says I don't know how sustainable it is to keep on doing everything that we're doing. Like, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult to keep it all spinning at the same time and then be able to put your energy into people. And I think it's so fast paced. And so when you're doing that and that, like, taking that day from myself to go to that event was immense.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate.
And
yeah.
it's like, I think the community that you're building off the back of it is just brilliant.
Yeah.
And I know you were speaking on the other podcast about the festivals. How does that work then? You've been asked to go to a couple of festivals, haven't you?
Yeah, so it's actually a holistic festival.
Oh,
it's
right,
on the 8th in Beamish Hall.
Oh, nice.
What's it called? Can't remember what it's called now. I was actually talking to Amy, who runs it this morning. So basically, they have like loads of different TPs, and then they've got Beamish Hall, and they just have loads of different practitioners come in, and they can showcase whatever they're doing. Yeah. And you get like 60 minutes each, and you buy a ticket for this holistic festival, and you can just spend the day doing unlimited amounts of holistic practices.
Cool.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's something definitely I'm interested in doing, because once you start, like, now you'll be meeting different practitioners on the circuit, and it's like, who would like to fit with who.
Yeah. I think she gets about 1,000 people.
Oh, nice. What dates are they? I'm putting you on the spot again here.
8th of June.
Oh, is it?
Sunday the 8th of June.
It's 2 days after the wedding. I can't say I'll make that.
Right.
It'd be nice.
I'm off anyway, Zoe. You enjoy the rest of your wedding weekend. I'm off up north.
No, cool. So, I were also going to ask, with you always seeming happy, what is it that's, like, when have you been your darkest moments, and what have been your tools to get you out of it?
Alcohol.
Yeah.
And my darkest times. They were without recognising it at the time, alcohol, partying, they were darker times. I've got a bit of a weird mindset, me. I'd say weird, strong mindset, where my mind's never really been able to tell me that I'm at my lowest point, where when I look back on certain situations and certain scenarios in my life, if that was someone else, there probably would have been suicidal.
Yeah. Because
really they were bad times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always had quite a good mindset like that, where I'm just like, okay, let's carry on.
Yeah.
Let's crack on. So alcohol was well, I had a bar in Spain, and when I had that bar, me and my ex were going through a bit of a bad time, off the back of me partying a lot.
Yeah.
Which then, I don't know what came first. It doesn't really matter, the chicken or the egg, does it? But it wasn't comfortable anymore.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be at home, so I'd just go out and party for days and days. I just go missing, and that doesn't help the strain on the relationship.
No.
And the alcohol for me, it's the absolute devil. There's I don't have alcohol in my life anymore.
No.
It's never been a struggle for me.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been one who go out and drink every day. I don't even really enjoy the taste of any alcohol.
No.
But at that time, it was a masking thing. Like, I could have a drink and just forget about all my problems for a couple of days.
Bury your head in sand.
Yeah, bury your head in the sand, yeah. So it was it was basically a mask for all my problems.
Yeah.
But then at the back end, everything's worse. Everything's worse because alcohol makes it worse. A guy actually said to me, think about all the things that you regret in your life. Give me a percentage of that was done under the influence of alcohol. I said, fucking hell, probably about 98% of it, if not more.
Then all the situations that have been caused by other people that have caused you that pain.
Yeah.
That's been all in the same.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a big tie-in one that I've seen, especially since I've been off alcohol. So it's been about 9.5 months now since the last time I had a drink. Yeah. But even before that, I was going through like 5-6 month spells at a time.
Yeah.
But especially looking back on it now, with a bit of a clearer brain, clearer mind, you realise like how bad alcohol actually is.
Yeah.
Like, and not just on a physical health wise, on a mental basis.
It makes you feel so much lower. Like, I were in turmoil whether to have a drink on my stag do, and I ended up having a drink. Didn't go mental. In fact, we were in bed for both nights at 12 o'clock. But I looked at how I feel after it.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's a low mood, there's no
Takes
motivation.
you so far back, doesn't it?
And even like my brother, he's same, he's like, I didn't realise how bad it makes you feel. I'm like, until you're aware of what feeling good doesn't eating clean to that.
Yeah.
There's night and day, so you can kind of notice it. And I think when I was going through down spiritual path, and I'm like, no alcohol, never again, and all this, like, because you can't bad. I'm going to have a drink at my wedding. It won't be going mental. And then I says, like, if I do go on holiday, I might have two cocktails or something by the beach. But I'll allow myself to do that, not be like, oh, never again. And it's like, I don't know. I'm my own worst critic, and I can drag myself into the dark, deep pits without anyone giving me judgment. I do it myself anyway.
That was one of the so the last drink that I had, it was in Spain. It was on my mate's stag do. We went for 4 days, and I drank the first night, and then I didn't drink again. But then I was like, right, that's me, done. And for about 2 months, 3 months after I said, right, that's it, I'm never drinking again, I was fighting with myself. But then the day that I changed the mindset to never say never, all of a sudden I just didn't care about it.
Yeah.
Didn't bother me. So it was just a change in mindset really to change me from that. But yeah, the alcohol really does bring dark times, and it brought dark times for me. But the fight back's always stronger, innit?
Yeah.
And as in terms of being happy every day, it's some days it's not as easy as others. Like, some days you have to convince yourself.
Yeah.
I've said this quite a few times, and words are powerful. When I go into somewhere and I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking fantastic, and I get a good reaction from that, and by the time, I tell you what your perfect example is, I used to do TikTok lives every morning. I used to finish the gym and I'd go and do a TikTok live every morning, and I'd just make my breakfast and a cup of coffee. I'd have my camping my camping stove, and I'd make a cup of coffee with everyone, and and people would be coming on, they'd be interacting, I'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking fantastic, and then by the time I come off it,
You were high on life.
high on fucking life, because all of a sudden you've told the universe and you've told everyone how amazing you are.
And amplified it.
Yeah, and you've made that reality. So some days that isn't the case, but I know that people say like it's a mask, but it's not. You're also not hiding behind a mask, because when people are saying that you're hiding behind a mask, see people like, oh yeah, I'm all right, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm out there convincing myself and convincing my brain and myself that I'm fantastic, because at some point, that page is going to turn and I am going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I like that, because it's like you are the story that you tell yourself as well, aren't you?
That's it, yeah.
See, the one that I always found hard is like if me and Zoe in the past, if we'd argued and then we were going round somewhere, she could just walk into a room and be like, yep, sound, I'm good. That's like it. I'm like, I can't do that. I just wonder.
Yeah.
I just can't snap it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, not that we argue anymore, and I'm like, but we got
like
to a
that.
point now when if it is like that, I says, I'll just start going. I says, I can't do it. I don't know where that light switch is to.
In the kitchen, talking to someone, going, that fucking bitch in there.
Yeah, well, like that,
Yeah.
So, what was next one? I'm gonna say. So, right. So, in the alcohol, you were saying. So, like, what kind of tools have you used to not drink? Is it like you've put other habits in, and also the dynamic of your friends? How have they seen the change in you?
I mean, so like one of my best mates, who's been my mate since we were babies.
Yeah.
He'd never been interested in anything like a self-love session. He seen the change in me and how much it changed my life.
Yeah.
So he came to the event. He came to one of the self-love sessions. Had the most amazing time. So they've seen the positive change in me.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends, in general, they don't really drink that much.
Right.
So I am quite fortunate like that. Well, even down to like my missus, I guess she was a bit sober curious.
Yeah.
And then we got together. And it's beneficial for her because she didn't want to drink and I don't drink.
Yeah.
So she's
Match
she's flying now because she's like, this is great, because you know yourself, like a lot of people's lives circulate around alcohol anyway, you know. Go for a meal, we'll have a drink. We'll go here.
Yeah,
we'll go,
couple and round it
we'll,
off with a drink.
We'll go camping, buy a slab of cans. Do you know what I mean? We'll have a campfire. We'll go to the beach.
Yeah.
We'll go to the beach and make a fire. We'll buy a slab of cans. Like, so, you know, I'm quite lucky with my friends because a lot of them don't drink.
Yeah.
But the reaction that I've got, it's because I was actually saying this last night. So me and a few of my friends, we're going to Ibiza next month.
Yeah.
Couple of lads in there in the group. So one of our friends has handpicked people to go, and one of the lads in there is called Connor, and me and him hit it off straight away, like an house on fire.
Yeah.
I was saying, lads, he's mint this Connor, you know, do you know, like that type of thing. And I put in the group yesterday, and I didn't know how this would go down, because they know that I don't drink, but it had never been spoken about. So I put in the group yesterday, lads, listen, I obviously don't drink, so if we all want to chip in, we'll get a rental car and I'll just drive us about everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you all drink. And I was waiting for the reaction because I didn't know how it would go down.
Of it all.
And this Connor just messaged back saying, fantastic idea, yeah, because you don't drink. There was no like pushback, there was no, what, you're not just going to have a couple, or do you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Not one of them said anything about me having drink, they were all just like, yeah, it's a great idea because you don't drink, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was like,
You're a part of the puzzle, innit? Rather
Yeah.
than seeing it as a problem.
yeah.
Because it's the anticipation of like, oh, fucking hell, like this. You're going to get all these pushes and...
I remember one time I was at a garden party, right? And at this time I wasn't drinking because I'd just been diagnosed with colitis. So I was on this strict diet to try and reverse it. And obviously part of it was no alcohol.
Yeah.
And there was a group of us, and two of them were at me. Oh, just have a drink, because I hadn't told anyone about the colitis at this point. Yeah. Guess that's a bit of a learning curve for people as well. No, don't try and force someone into something without knowing the true story.
Yeah.
Because they would like, have a drink. But what they don't know is I've just been diagnosed with this pretty serious disease.
What is it?
So it's ulcerated colitis. So it's like Crohn's.
Right.
It's like what they told me, I think might be a bit overhyped. But when they diagnosed me with it, they were like, "Oh, it's like a mild form of bowel cancer." But I think that might be overhyping it, to be honest, like scare tactics. But yeah, it's just an autoimmune disease. Just an autoimmune disease. It's quite serious. So at that time, I wasn't drinking, and I remember I was sat there, right, and I was like nearly in tears, laughing at someone. That much so the back of my head was hurting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I literally stopped laughing for a second, put my drink down, and one of the lads who'd been asking me to drink went, "Fucking hell, you look like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders, chill out, mate." And I'd literally just stopped laughing. I was like, see, that's the effects of not drinking.
Yeah.
They don't think it's socially acceptable for someone not to drink. Like, all the other reactions in the room don't matter. The only one that matters is mine, because I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like...
What do you put that down to? Do you put that down to a
self-insecurities, maybe?
Yeah. Do you think it's like an energy sometimes wanting you to pull you into it?
Yeah, like, I think a lot of people, they want to be able to not drink. And funnily enough, a lot of them people who were at me back then now don't drink.
Yeah. So
but they want
part of them.
They wanted to. I feel like a lot of people want to be able to go out, bust it sober in a field or in a club. There was a girl once, right? We went to a 2-day event in Liverpool. Jamie Webster was on one day, and it was Cream Classics on the next day. It was in Sefton Park, and I didn't drink the full time. I just busted it sober. And this one girl came over to me, and she'd been talking to my mate. She just came over. And I still speak to her, actually. Like, she's not like a pal or anything, but she's come over and she went, "Are you one of them weirdos that can enjoy yourself sober?" And I went, "Yeah, I guess I am, yeah." And I was just like...
It's a gift, mate.
Oh, completely. Yeah, like, I'm that confident that I can dance all day, all night. I went to a festival called Lost Village last year, and basically just busted it sober for 4 days.
Cool.
Like, not a bit of drink, and had the most amazing time. I was back in my tent every night for 12 o'clock with a cup of tea. A cup of tea and a cake every night. No. And, you know, it was still pumping until 5 o'clock, but I was done.
Once you're done, yeah, it's like even on Stag Do, no, that said I had a drink, but once I didn't go silly.
Yeah.
And they were like, once I'm done, I'm quite...
Yeah.
That's my night done. The thing that gives me much encouragement is, like, we're just big kids anyway.
Yeah.
And when I watch children play, it's like, they don't need drink.
No, exactly.
It's only when all this adult shit happens, or it's like, monkey see, monkey do. If parents drink, you tend to have to drink. And it's nice to see. I think as well, that's like the divine thing that's happening at the moment is cost of living is going up, and yeah, it's shit, but it's making people look at where they can cut things out. and people are starting to go, well, I feel like shit after I pay all that money. So it has to go.
Yeah,
you know,
million
like,
percent, yeah.
it's going to swallow it up in the health and well-being sector, and I think it's really making a move.
Oh, big time, yeah. I think it really is taking over. Even just like in the gym capacity, like I go in the gym on a Friday night and it's just full of 18 to 21-year-olds. And I'm like, how good is that?
Yeah.
Like some people, some people like, they're like grumpy and stuff, but like I see that as such a positive for the future.
Yeah.
The fact that there's 18 to 21-year-olds in a gym on a Friday night, it's packed with them. You'll get someone whinging saying, kids drive around town on the balloons.
Yeah.
But then in the same breath, they complain about them being in the gym. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people can't win, but for me, that progress in society of a gym being busy with young kids on a Friday night rather than going out and getting wanted.
Well, it's like,
good,
I
man.
think that's why that shred fast is going up so quickly. You can see that's the first time I've been over to Liverpool. You see what it's doing for that community. And
Yeah,
just
big
not,
time, yeah.
Like on a big, and then you see like these Hydrox events.
Yeah, Hydrox, yeah.
And they're just going everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Shredfast is another one, like the community that it's building and the people that go there, and it's great online. Like you say, you've done the online. I do the online because obviously I live in Middlesbrough, but I spend a lot of time in Liverpool, and I'll never ever miss an opportunity to be in that room because there's nothing like the physical. Going back to earlier what we were saying about me doing stuff online.
Yeah.
It's great and it's a great experience, but being in the physical and being in that room, there's nothing quite like it.
Yeah.
And what they've created in there, in Shredfast, in Hale, unbelievable. Like it's unreal.
Yeah.
Like it is literally just a room of people who want to progress in a physical aspect.
Yeah.
They just want to live a better life. How can someone knock that?
Yeah.
I have a lot of people messaging me talking about like culty and stuff like this, and I think people have lost the meaning of the word cult.
It's
so
people don't know where it's
easily
from.
used.
It's culture.
Yeah.
It's just short for culture.
Yeah.
So everything, it's just a part.
It's just misused.
And I think if you said like UK is a cult within drink and cocaine fucking abuse, it's like that's what's become UK culture.
Yeah.
And it's like it's no different. It's just a good aspect.
That's it. Yeah. It's just misused, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That terminology is completely used out of character.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's like my events. All I see in that room is a room full of people who are willing to give themselves a little bit of time on an afternoon or an evening, whenever we throw that particular event, in a room with other supportive people who just want to progress.
Yeah.
They want to find a way of creating a better life for themselves.
Yeah.
How can you knock that? And that's how I see Shredfast.
Yeah.
A bunch of people who are all in there supporting each other while they're exercising.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah, and it's like they grow it like, well, I want to get back to growing food and stuff, and people are like, you fucking weird. I'm like, it's the most natural thing. It fucking, like...
Yeah. Mate, growing your own food is so much better than growing it from the ground out there.
Yeah.
Because everything's been taken out of that.
Yeah.
It's been bled dry.
It's fucking mental, innit? It's just a mindset of like, but it gives me so much more encouragement of these like communities that you yourself build in Shredfast, and it's like I don't see as they're influencers, they're inspirers. You're inspiring the next generation
Completely,
and
mate.
that's what
Completely.
it's all about, innit?
And I think, just in general, like I've had a lot of inspirations over my life, but honestly, every day there's someone else that inspires me. every single day, like, I look at, I don't know, like, there's a lad called Shane Bland who comes to my events, yeah. And he's been through so much and come out the back end, and I see him at the gym every morning on his story and where he's gone from and to and then back, got himself right.
Yeah.
Like, I see him every morning and he inspires me on a morning. And then he's got his missus, Becky, who also comes to my events. I see them both go to the gym. I'm like, they inspire me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I see people every day and there's someone different that inspires me every day. Lee Lafferty, another one.
Yeah.
Such top lad. Like, me and him have good conversations and I see him working hard. Yeah. And it makes me want to work hard because I see someone else working hard.
Yeah.
You know, I have had true inspirations in my life, like, but I take inspiration out of people every day.
Yeah. It's their thought. I think it's always good to take on other people's thought processes, how they deal with stuff as well, because it gives you a tool to get way around certain aspects of your own life.
Definitely, yeah. I think we've got to recognise as well that we are all someone's inspiration.
Yeah.
And within that, if you're not going to use anything else as a reason to make your life better, use that you are someone else's inspiration. Yeah. Where you're at right now is someone else's aspiration. So, like, hold it with honour.
Yeah.
You know, wear it with pride. Do the very best that you can because you are an aspiration.
Yeah.
Where you're at is an aspiration for someone else. You know, and we're all inspirers to someone. So you've got to recognise that.
Yeah. It's I've been like it recently, not giving, I don't know, when you're stuck in a bit of a lull of your own fucking story and you're like, oh, you know, it's shit is this? And then you look around, you're like, it's not.
It's not shit.
I was begging for this 5 years ago. Now I've got it, it's like, there's something else. And all, you know what it was? I just stepped out of doing meditation daily because, I'm going to be honest, we smoke some weed and I don't know how it is for other people, but it makes me not want to get out of bed. Even if I am waking up them times, it's like sedates me.
Yeah.
So as much as it's not even like to get stoned, the weed. I like the taste of it.
Oh, do
but
you?
It's like, I can't have it. It's going to it pulls out the rug on all the good practices. And the meditation is the one that homes me in and gives me a great day.
Yeah.
It like rebalances you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't know about for you, it's like, even when you've had them blissful meditations where you can feel. I always like to think of, you've walked into a room, you sat down doing a meditation, but it shifted you into another reality. When you walk out that door, it's like you've walked into another kind of realm of where it's all lighter. And without having that, that's the way I take it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, my meditation is more for my mental clarity.
Yeah.
But what I have learned over the years is the different experiences that people have. Like, I've got a friend who sees all sorts. Like, when she meditates, like, she sees
astral traveling and stuff.
Yeah. So, like, everyone is their experience. Like, I have people ask me, what's it like to meditate? There's no one experience.
No.
Like, I meditated last week and I don't know, I just seen all these mad, like, crazy colours and I felt like I was getting, like, sucked up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the first time that's ever happened to me. I felt like I was getting pulled to somewhere else. So that's the first time that's ever happened to me.
It's surreal when it's happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've had one where it felt like I took an ecstasy tablet. My eyes actually dilated. I thought I were enlightened, which were fucking hilarious. Is this what enlightenment? No. They tuned it back down to earth. Like, not at all. It's interesting, isn't it? It's definitely interesting. And I think it's like the different breathworks and stuff you can get into as well, can't you?
Yeah,
That
again,
can
there's
change
lots
it.
of different types of breath works. There's so many different variations of breath work. And again, there's just so many different experiences to be had within breath work.
Yeah.
Like, I've done ones before where it's lasted like half an hour, and I didn't get as much out of it as when I done like a 10-minute Wim Hof.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's all about how you're feeling in that moment, really.
Yeah. I found as well, it's like when you're wanting an outcome to happen, that's when it's like you're
That's
putting
when
up
it
a
does.
resistance to
Yeah,
it. When you're just like, oh, I'm just going to turn up today and do it. And it
yeah,
just happens naturally. It's when it surprises you the most.
yeah, definitely. I find that is the truth. Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to the listeners?
Um,
Put
what
you on
about
spot on
the?
it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
A message for like, I don't know, if they're going through a dark time at this moment in time.
Yeah. I mean, we all have our shortcomings. We all have our bad days, but the future is something that we can't hang on to. So the future is done now. The only way to deal with anything is to move forward, to trust the process, and the only way that we can do that is by making a better choice right now and making a progressive choice, a better choice. Because the only way that we can sculpt a better future for ourselves is by making better choices right now. So we can't heal anything that's already been done. We can only make a better life for ourselves right now. So make a better choice, make a progressive choice, and the more of them better choices that you make right now, the better your life will get, and I promise you that.
The compound, don't
Yeah, the compound completely. Yeah, the more we concentrate on making better choices, and they start right now, your life will ultimately just get better and better and better.
they? No, thank you very much. Cheers for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. I've enjoyed that.
Thank you.